welcome into the House Hardcourt. I'm Scotty Gange. He's Jordan Palacio. Brand new ASU basketball show courtesy of houseofsparky.com. Jordan, it's a great day.
Oh, it's a great day, Scotty. You know, basketball is my favorite sport.
Don't say it. I told you not to say it.
I love it when they dribble up and down the court. That is some great stuff right there. Territorial Cup action tonight, Scotty. But before we get into that, which we will, let's go back in recap mode. ASU played against the LA schools this past week. Let's dive right into those highlights. Thursday night in the City of Angels, ASU and UCLA. ASU right there, Tayshaun Cherry knocking down a three-point shot after the Bruins got on an 11-0 run. And here, the Bruins, you can see they are shooting the ball well in this first half. But check this out, on the fast break, Remy Martin, oh my goodness, I did not even know he could do that. What a play. And in the second half, this turned into the Remy Martin show. There you see him knocking down the center field three right down the middle, and a little hezzy pull-up Jimbo right there from Remy Martin at the top of the key. ASU was able to pull away, but look out, Jalen Hands with the play of the week right there. Unbelievable athleticism. ASU, though, got the win, 84-73, and we move on to USC. This was a game the Devils needed, and what a pass right there from Kamani Lawrence to Zylan Cheatham, and this game was back and forth the entire way. If ASU wins, they get their first road sweep since the conference was called the Pac-10. And as we head into the second half here, we get a no-look pass from Remy Martin. If you didn't see it, don't feel bad because neither did Remy. And another behind-the-back pass from Thorin right there to his man for the and one. Zylan Cheatham to Romello White with a slam dunk finish. Great job right there on the Devils in transition. And again, Cheatham, a little reverse layup, nicely done to keep them within one. And now the shot of the game for USC. That is bull right for three, and it's good, and that would be the game winner. 69-67 USC over ASU.
So you saw it right there. Devils split the weekend, a loss against USC and the win over UCLA. And for that, we're bringing in our guy, Eric Ruby, to help us break down what the Devils did well this weekend and what they can also do tonight. Eric, it's great to have you in, man.
It's great to be here. How are you doing, Scotty?
Doing great. It's a beautiful day.
Oh, it is a beautiful day. And you were talking about what ASU did well over the weekend. Well, one thing they did really well was playmaking. That comes with a guy like Remy Martin. With ASU, and you're in this half-court set here, watch how much Remy Martin can create and how many opportunities he can create by being able to score. Now, watch right here. All 5 UCLA defenders are all focused on Remy Martin. That's 5 set of eyes on one player. That's great for Bobby Hurley because this opens up a lot of options. Let's break down those options for you. Option number 1, you can hit Rob Edwards for 3, especially early in the game. It's good to get those 3-point shooters in rhythm, especially a guy like Rob Edwards.
Cold killer.
Cold killer. He can be a little bit streaky sometimes, so a wide open 3 early in the game can really get him going. But that's not the only option. You want another 3? You want the corner 3? You can hit Kamani Lawrence over there, who's known to knock down a few himself. But if you notice, you look real closely, Kamani's pointing over at Rob. He knows that Rob is open for 3, so if you could get out to Kamani, he could kick it over to Rob. You get some ball movement going, that Spurs-type basketball. That's something you really want if you're Bobby Hurley in a half-court set. Get UCLA off their defense. But who wants a 3? Let's go down low. Let's go on the paint.
That's what I want.
You can get a little bounce pass into DeQuan Lake. Notice how his defender, again, looking at Remy, has committed to him, and now DeQuan can get position on the inside, put his shoulder in, and put it up. Look at all those arrows, Scotty. Off a simple pick and roll. Simple pick and roll, you have all those options for ASU. You have to love that if you're Bobby Hurley. And going to tonight's game against U of A, that's something you want to create in the half-court set. But in this play in particular, he's going to give it down low to DeQuan Lake, who's going to put a shoulder on his defender, put it up with one hand, easy bucket. But we talked the small guy, let's talk the big guy. When you talk Zylan Cheatham, what do you like to talk about?
Throw it down.
Throw it down. When you're on the fast break, you have a guy like Cheatham with his athleticism. You think he's going to drive to the paint. You think he's going to go and he's going to try to throw it down, posterize somebody like he did against Oregon. But the great thing about Zylan Cheatham, he's like a Swiss Army knife. He can do pretty much everything for the Sun Devils. So on the fast break here, if his defender commits to him, a little bounce pass to his trailing Romello White, nice easy dunk. But we had our dunks. Let's get our 3-point option as well. Sneaky shooter Elias Valtonen can go off in the corner. If that defender commits to Cheatham, he can hit Valtonen in the corner. Nice easy 3. So 3 options on a fast break with a big man running it. He'll dump it off to Romello. Nice easy dunk. So for tonight's game against U of A, ASU is really going to need their creators to come into play, their playmakers, whether that's Zylan Cheatham on the fast break or Remy Martin in the half court. That's how they're going to tear apart this U of A defense.
Not to mention Lou Dort.
Lou Dort, you see, when you talk Lou Dort, you say playmaking, it's more of that ISO scoring. And I think going into tonight's game, we've seen a little bit of a trail off from Luke Stewart, especially in Pac-12 play. We've seen him trail off on the scoring end, and sometimes when the Devils get down by a few points, he goes into ISO hero mode. But if I'm Bobby Hurley, I'm going to encourage him to start passing a little bit more. Get people like Remy Martin involved, move the ball around. And it's like we talked about with the Spurs, when you move the ball, you have better opportunities. And this one thing this Sun Devil team does, it's settle for bad shots when they're down. So going into tonight's game, you need Luke Stewart to make on scoring and passing, and then look at Remy Martin and Zylan Cheatham for their passing ability.
Eric Ruby, resident in-studio genius for us. Thanks so much, Eric. We've been talking a lot about the LA schools and Arizona and ASU, but what about the rest of the Pac-12? Quinn Jameson has the answer.
Thanks, Scotty. It was a busy weekend in the Conference of Champions. Washington improved to a perfect 7-0 in conference play after beating Oregon State 79-69. The Huskies have a 2-game lead in the Pac-12 standings and have won 9 straight games. The Beavers remain in the middle of the pack with a 4-3 conference record. Stanford beat the University of Colorado 75-62. Both teams remain in the bottom half of the standings as they are trying to build momentum with the Pac-12 tournament just around the corner. Utah beat California 82-64, securing their 4th straight victory, all of which have come against conference foes. UCLA trounced Arizona 90-69, bouncing back from a tough loss to ASU. In the Pacific Northwest, Oregon defeated Washington State 78-58. The preseason Pac-12 favorites are in the midst of trying to salvage a disappointing season. Washington, USC, and Utah lead the Pac-12 standings with ASU and U of A coming in at 4 and 5. This makes their rivalry matchup tonight all the more important. The upcoming game to watch in the Pac-12 is the same one we've been talking about all day. The Sun Devils and the Wildcats. Both squads are coming off disappointing losses and are desperate for a win. It's no doubt the bank will be rocking with Pac-12 seeding and NCAA tournament implications on the line. The bitter rivalry between the two schools will only make matters more interesting. For the 5th straight week, no Pac-12 team found themselves ranked in the top 25 according to the AP poll. The last team to crack the rankings was ASU at number 17 during Week 8 of the season. It's safe to say the Pac-12 as a conference has a lot to prove this week and for the remainder of the season. Back to you, Joran.
The oldest rivalry in college sports, Arizona State University and the University of Arizona. These two schools have been intertwined since their very inception. However, there's always been one sport U of A has dominated: men's basketball. It comes as no secret that the school down south has long been known as a basketball school and even one of the best basketball schools in the country. And with that has come routinely beating the Sun Devils twice per year. Now, ever so often, the Devils will pick up a shock win over the Wildcats. And if you're an ASU fan, that's like finding a $20 bill in your pocket. It's a nice surprise. But that was all different last year. If ASU would have beaten U of A in the pair's first matchup, the Devils would have been number 1 in the country. But the Aiton-led Wildcats swept the Devils. Perhaps last year started the Devils' march to claim the title of best in-state basketball school. And if there was a time to capitalize, it would be right now. To get more on that, we bring in House of Sparky analyst Zach Keenan. Now, Zach, we've heard a lot about this U of A team, that it's different, they're not as good. What about this U of A team is so different?
Now, Jordan, to be quite frank, can I say everything? They lost their star, they lost their recruits, their top players. It's a completely different team this year.
Right, and with it being completely different, what do you think Arizona State can exploit in this game tonight?
Well, interesting. They'll actually be the first team, or one of the first teams, that ASU will see this year with a man defense. So I'm really interested to see how ASU handles something in a change from the zone that they've seen so far in Pac-12 play this conference season.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see Lou Dort, Remy Martin working a kind of one-on-one setting. Well, Zach, thank you for your stance. Now we're gonna send it over to Scotty for his stance.
Arizona State has no business losing tonight's game. If they do, then you can mark this season as a complete and utter failure. Yes, the win over Kansas was great. It was historic and a proud moment in the history of the program and a great night for fans. But that in no way has defined this season. The loss to Princeton 4 days later told you that. Let's remember here, Aiton's on the Suns, they lost their top recruits with last year's money scandal, and the LA schools just made them look like an AAU team. It's Sean Miller's weakest squad in his tenure, and they're coming to a packed house in Tempe. Bobby Hurley is 0-6 against the Cats, averaging over 15 points in deficit. That's really bad. ASU is a strong team and one that's undoubtedly favored tonight. A loss, and this will forever rank as the biggest flop of a season in ASU history. The Devils have shown that they can't win consecutive games together time and time again, so a Pac-12 tournament is a no. A bid to the dance would be nice, but there's no way you can convince me this season is successful if they can't win this game. Arizona has dominated basketball in this state, and they will again soon. This is ASU's chance to truly own State 48. No luck, no hindsight, just a W. This type of opportunity has not and will not come every year. So if the Devils can't grab this one while they can, then you can throw the pride of this season right out the window. To Pac-12 top plays we go. This is Nas Carter up at Oregon State. He's going to get up and throw it down.
My.
That's Jay-Z's nephew, oh, by the way. He's got 99 problems, but the nation's leading shot blocker, Joran, isn't one. He says, show me what you got. Hey, what more can I say? On to the next one.
On to the next one is right, Scotty. ASU and UCLA. Remy Martin on the fast break. Oh, my goodness. Did you even know he could do that, Scotty?
I did
What
not.
a dunk from Remy Martin. But guess what? We got more from this game.
Same hoop, different story. That's Jalen Hands on top of Romello White. ASU wins the game 84-73, but that dunk, good enough for our Pac-12 top play of the week. Joran, we see 3 dunks all over somebody else. It
Unbelievable.
reminds me that I can dunk over you, and I can dunk.
I swear that I'm taller than you.
No.
Are you sure?
I've done it before.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It reminds me of my high school days because I was so unathletic. They used to call my vertical a horizontal. That's how bad I was back in the day. Scotty, one last question for you. You want to do this next week?
I'll be here.
Same time?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll be in here in a suit.
Sounds good. For our executive producers, Noah Lau and Blaine McCormick, for Scotty Gange, I am Jordan Palacio, and we are signing out. It is House of Hardcourt. We will see you guys next time.